What's up? Whoa. I like the way that hat looks. But yes, the Earlverse is in the house. I don't think anyone from the Dabbleverse is streaming right now, so I thought, why not? Let's give an alternative to the negativity of that world. But I know it's Sting. Hello. Now, I almost went to AEW Dynamite in Sacramento today, but I was not going to drive to Sacramento, which is a fairly long drive, about 5 or 6 hours, and do it in the rain. It's raining right now in Los Angeles, so I was not. I don't know what that means, adventure. Oh yeah, I mean I'm not Dabbleverse. I guess you'd say since I've done MLC and a bunch of Chad's shows, I guess you would say I'm Dabbleverse adjacent from the standpoint of just appearances, but I don't really talk about it a lot on here. Of course, some days I talk about it, but. John Cena. A lot of people have been telling me I look like John Cena from the neck up, unfortunately. Not that I would want to be that big from the neck down, but, he does have a good body for an older dude. And I say that as I'm probably 15 years older than he is. Yes, I did do Hackamania. But, well, thank you, Just Jenna. What up, Drunken Donuts? Hello, Baby Curry. I did Hackamania just because, I'd never really met Melton before. I think we had done shows in LA. We had done Red Band's Death Squad show. But I don't think we ever talked a lot. At least neither one of us recall it. So, I thought, let me meet this dude and, let me meet Pat Dixon and Carl and all these guys. I mean, I had fun, to be honest with you. I mean, would I do it again? Probably not, because interesting. But I know there was a vigorous Vigors. Um, so, because when I did the stand-up portion of the show, they didn't want stand-up. They wanted like a roast of the Dabbleverse and references with the Dabbleverse. And I just, I think the first few minutes I struggled. And then I think I did one joke that got the room, and I was fine after that. I mean, I was by no means killing, but so I don't know if I would do it again. I did like the win Earl Skakel's money thing. That was a kind of a different take on Kill Tony, I guess. So I did have fun doing that because we actually gave away $1,000. So, but I think that was enough for me. And they didn't invite me this year, to be honest with you. It's not like I turned them down, but I'm okay with that. Yes, please press the like and subscribe button. Yes, so I will not be going. Well, I don't think, and I don't really know Ray. I mean, he seemed like a nice enough guy. I don't think he realized, the standing ovation was not for any other reason other than, oh my God, this is the guy we all goof on. He's here in person. We can goof on him in person. So, because I think once he went away from the Dabbleverse material and did his usual stand-up, it didn't bomb, but like it wasn't like killing. No one killed at Hackamania, myself included. So, it was probably my mistake driving up there going, I can turn this Dabbleverse crowd. They're going to hear stand-up. And, that was probably an error in my judgment. But like I said, funny, Rudy. I was treated well. You know, Melton paid me more than what he said. The hotel room was nice. I mean, the hotel was in a shitty area, but that's not Melton's. You know, it made sense to have the hotel semi near the performance venue. Um, so I had that crowd look like the buffet line in Atlantic City. I mean, it was definitely dude heavy. Um, and not many women, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the only women I recall meeting was Michaela and Lady KB and Carl's wife. Other than that, it was pretty much dudes. But that's, I would say, is the internet in general. Um, Interesting, interesting. That's very interesting though about Vigors. I know that there was a vigorous Vigors. I was not imagining that. Because I remember seeing that horse at Santa Anita TB and going, man, this horse races just like his dad or her dad. I forget if Vigors was a woman, a female horse or not. Um, yeah, but Crystal Water. What up, Lisa? We got some women in the stream tonight. 2 out of 13 people. That's rare for these internet streams. I'm starting to find out after seeing what Hackamania was like. Pretty much all dudes. It was an interesting look into the world of, bro, why you look tired? I'm not tired at all, bro. But I did wake up about an hour ago. I'm sure you don't look that great either, AA. I always find that people who criticize other people's looks anonymously in an internet chat, when I meet them in person, like I met some trolls at Hackamania, and it's like, you guys should not be making fun of anybody's looks. Trust me on that one. Um, my eyes, how can you even see my eyes through my glasses? Um, my first pick six hit was the Del Mar meet, but I was at yeah, Del Mar was beautiful. That was an amazing racetrack. I remember driving down there with my parents, and even as a kid, the beauty of of Del Mar was just, it was really stunning. We don't do the free Diddy stuff in here. Well, good for you, AA. I'm glad you're not blind. So, well, it's just funny. Like, I met, what the fuck, I forget this guy's name, but he came up to me and go, "Hey, man, I'm the guy who's always trolling you on MLC." And this guy was bald, fat, and looked literally like Sloth from the Goonies, but he was always criticizing my looks. And it's like, I'm not a male model, but come on, man. Like, you know, I would love to see, bro, if you think this is me mad, this is me being very cool and chill. But hit the like and subscribe button, or I will get mad. Um, so I was just, commenting on, in general, internet trolls. It is kind of neat to meet them. Like, that's half the reason I went to Hackamania. I was like, I want to meet Carl and all these guys, but I also want to meet the trolls because I knew the trolls would be there. So, oh, in that case, troll away, troll away. I mean, I'm not, look, I got no dark circles, but I will say it does take me a minute to get going, which is why I drink this Oxy Shred, because in about 2 hours I'll be taking yoga. Yeah, I mean, and the Santa Anita's very pretty. Um, well, thank you, Lisa. No, I'm sure AA is a good-looking guy. I don't feel tired. I might look tired to you, but I think you love Stink from WWE. I'm AEW, baby. AEW for life. We got a big pay-per-view coming up Sunday, Revolution. I will be in attendance as a personal guest of MVP. So, the Sting mask. How dare you call that stink? That is sting, baby. Well, Brock Lambert, this is my voice. So if you don't like the sound of my voice, you can just X out of the stream anytime. EA Sports, it's in the game. We don't do all caps in here, baby doll. That's reserved for one person only, Peter Chicken Man Brennan. So no all caps, please. That is pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I do have a very deep and baritone voice. So I do a mean Darth Vader. Yeah, we don't do no caps except for Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Yeah, I mean the mountain backdrop of Santa Anita. For those of you wondering what the hell me, TB, and Rudy are talking about, we're talking about different Southern California racetracks. Now, Hollywood Park I was near and dear to, but I wouldn't say that was necessarily a beautiful racetrack because you were essentially in downtown Englewood. I am not related to Johnny Cash. I'm not related to anyone famous but Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose mother Ethel was my dad's sister. I don't speak Chinese in here, so you're going to have to English that up, baby. I'm certainly, I mean, any racetrack that's in literally downtown Englewood. I mean, the track itself was awesome. I remember, my dad maybe wasn't the greatest parent safety wise because he would be upstairs in the turf club with the high rollers, and then he would just literally let me go down to the bottom level where like all the degenerate gamblers are, and the caddies from the country club and all that stuff. Yes, the rainbow food is next level. The pizza is the best pizza in my opinion in town. So, all right. We don't do gibberish in here, Wolf Boy, so I'm going to have to hide that one. We got some trolls in the stream. All right, Wolf Boy, I hate to do this to you, but I got to put you in timeout. I don't like putting people in timeout, but when you add absolutely nothing to the stream, I got to cut you loose. What up, David Boldo podcast? We're just doing I saw no one was streaming right now at this point, so I thought I'd come in. Stupid question. Are you first cousins with RFK Jr.? I just said that. Perry, we don't talk about Perry in here. Perry wasn't funny 25 years ago. He's not funny now. So, I mean, it's basically making fun of a retarded person, what his handlers are doing to him now. I mean, I met Perry 24 years ago at the Canoga Park Bowl. He went up, bombed his ass off. But people were like, it's kind of like Ray at Hackamania, like they were cheering him, but they were goofing on him. But he's not smart enough to realize it, Perry. And so he thought he was killing. In a roundabout way, I'm related to JFK. My dad's sister, Ethel Kennedy, her real name is Earl Skakel. So JFK, I guess, would be an uncle by marriage. My first bowling league was Canoga Park Bowl. Oh, great performance area, actually. The comedy show was in the bar, which if you remember the bar, it's kind of in a step down area. So you're looking up at the crowd, and, most people enjoyed the show. I mean, there was, I think some of the people at the bar were just alcoholics, so they weren't necessarily there for the comedy show. You too, Dark. And what up, Ray? I didn't like Oliver Stone's JFK because he kind of added his own spin on it, and I don't think you should when it's a factual story. I just don't like how you put in some things that may or may not be true. Well, right now I'm just in hoodie and sweats, but when I'm on stage at the Comedy Store, which I will be. Thank you, Uncle Tony. I do have a nice jawbone. jaw structure. I was not at the Trump State of the Union. Uh, what is the length of my smartphone? It's just a regular iPhone, iPhone 14. So I'm probably due for an upgrade. Do you know the polite kitty lady? You're done. I don't know who you're talking about, to be honest with you. The polite kitty lady. I don't know who that is. So, and I don't recall doing a podcast with the polite kitty lady. So just labeled. I don't. I don't think I've done a podcast. I don't remember that name. Maybe it's a stage name or something. But what up, DB Cooper? Lois just walked in the rain. I fed her, so she's back in bed. Oh, I don't know what her. Yeah, okay, I take that back. I don't. That was the first time I ever met her. And Daryl McCarr, great jockey from back in the day. Um, yeah, that's in terms of the polite kitty lady. That's the first time I ever met her. Was on Tom's podcast, and I haven't talked to her since. I don't know what the body looks like, so I'd have to. I'm a boob guy, so I'd have to see what was going on there. But I mean, she seemed like a nice enough lady. So, well, that's an interesting take, Uncle Tony. Do you think people who eat McDonald's? Well, I mean, I used to eat at McDonald's almost every day when I was a teenager. I love the Big Mac and the milkshake, and the fries had so much salt. That was some good stuff. But I haven't had fast food like that in probably, Jesus. I haven't had McDonald's. I think maybe about 3 years ago, I was driving back from a comedy gig and I was so hungry. I went to a drive-through McDonald's at maybe like 3 or 4 in the morning. I think I had like a veggie, like their Impossible burger or whatever. It was so fucking disgusting that like I had to pull over 10 minutes later to take a dump at a gas station. Um, I do like Chick-fil-A. I had filet of fish a lot. Um, Chick-fil-A I really like, but I had really bad credit card fraud at the one on Highland and Sunset. So, and I rarely carry cash on me anymore. So I don't know if it was fraud specific to that um, Chick-fil-A or I started noticing these crazy charges from the Chick-fil-A app, which I've never been on, for $5, $20, $100. It was varying amounts. Um, so yeah, I mean, Big Mac is just the sauce, those soft pickles, get your mind out of the gutter. I don't think I've ever had In-N-Out. What's the Angel Reese meal? Is that what up, William Zoom? We're just doing a rare midday stream before yoga. It won't be quite an hour stream. We'll probably go about 40 minutes here. And I just, I know. Uh-oh. Hold on. I got a phone call coming in. Hey, I'm on a stream. I'll call you right back. Actual landline, old school. It is the hotline. And no, I'm not taking phone calls. We don't do guest phone calls, and I don't stream snipe people. So that was not Gene. That was. I remember when I first started streaming on YouTube, someone would call me right away. It was a troll or a fan or both. And that was really scary to me that someone actually had my landline number. Of course, I'm listed, I think, in the white pages. So, um, you know, yes, no secretary and no producer. So, I'm a one-man army here. I don't have a Jamie or a Red Band. I have an Earl and I have a Lois. And Lois isn't helpful in the tech world, if you know what I'm saying. So Tuna Tower, yeah, probably. I have no assistant. I'm a one man soldier. But if this stream ever blew up, I would love to have someone pull up clips and stuff and like, hey, let's take a look at that hockey fight, Bill. You are John Cena, man. Of course, you are one man army. Yes, I am John Cena. But the John Cena heel turn, as good as it was nowhere near the Hulk Hogan heel turn. I mean, that was wrestling 9/11, man. Just wow. Just like if you go back and watch the Bash at the Beach, I believe '96. The guy in the front row in the ECW shirt, he was fucking crying, man. It wasn't fake. Like he was devastated. Yeah, you guys are part of the Earl Army. And there's also the guy in Montreal when I did my second battle on television for Roast Battle. There was a guy to my left, I guess that would be stage right, my left, wearing an Earl Army t-shirt. Any thoughts on the NHL trade deadline? Many thoughts. I'm sure Raquel, who is friends with Adrian Kempe, would be lovely to fit in on the first line with Kopitar and Kempe. That would probably dump Turcotte to the fourth line. But I don't know what Pittsburgh wants. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great heel and face turns. My favorite face turn is when Nikita Koloff joined a Dusty Rhodes after the Magnum TA auto accident. Dusty Rhodes needed a tag team partner because it was going to be Magnum TA, but then he got fucked up. So it was a brilliant move to have the Russian Nightmare join the American Dream. But and there's Mikko Rantanen. I mean, I think Carolina's already having buyer's remorse, which is crazy because he just got there 2-3 weeks ago or whatever. But the Kings just don't have that much to trade, to be honest with you. I mean, you're not going to trade Fiala. You're not going to trade Kempe. You're not going to trade Doughty or Kopitar. I mean, I guess you could trade Danault, but you're not going to get much for him. He makes a lot of money. He doesn't score a lot, although he's defensively very good. Noodles sent me. Is that Deaf Noodles? I'm a big Andre the Giant fan. Kip Smith in the house. We're just talking a little bit of hockey, which tends to drop the numbers, to be frank. But that's okay. We'll do it anyway. So then you get to the third line. I mean, Gretzky got traded twice. 100% William Zoom. And Messier got traded once, I believe. So anyone can get traded. I don't see the Kings trading Quentin Byfield or Brant Clark, which are probably the two most tradable assets. I guess they could trade Trevor Moore, but you're not going to get a lot for him. And what you're going to get is really the same as what he produces. So it's not really. You could include this year's number one pick, a first round pick, not number one. So you could do a package of Moore, the first round pick, and Spence. But the names most associated with the Kings are Tuck in Buffalo, Raquel in Pittsburgh, and Rantanen in Carolina. Smaller tier, Joel Armia, I heard from a very good source, might be an LA King sooner than later. The 48 hours till the. I used to live in a building with Bruce McNall, 2170 Century Park East. It was kind of sad. Like, this is after all the shit went down. So he was driving like a beat up Ford Explorer, and I was driving like a really nice car. Like, how do you own the Kings and I drive a nicer car than you? Wild building. Fay Ray from King Kong, as you guys know. Faye Resnick, who was Nicole Brown Simpson's best friend. Byron Allen's mom. Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses. And a lot of Don Adams from Get Smart. Prostitutes in both buildings. So it was quite an interesting building to live in. So I mean, Bruce McNall both saved the Kings and ruined the Kings because the Kings were shit for about 10 years after he, like, just, financially scammed everyone. So, just one of those things. I don't know if Resnick knew. This was the type of building Eddie Nash. I never saw him there, but it was absolutely the type of building that Eddie Nash would go and do blow with someone. I mean, there was a lot of weird. You got to understand that complex, and I'm talking about for those of you not knowing. The condo complex I lived in the 90s. It was on Century Park East and Olympic. I'm sure you could Google Earth it and see the complex. There was two 21-story buildings attached to each other, and just the weirdest collection of people you've ever seen. Like even the girl who works security, Tasha, it's weird how I remember that. Her brother played on the Lakers, Derek Strong. And so you had people like that, and I would always see Dennis Franz coming in, and he didn't live there, but I think he was fucking some girl there. Oh yeah, the Love's on Pico. When you're in love, the whole world's delicious. I don't know what that is. It wasn't. I used to work right across the street from Love's. I was yes, 100% OJ got away with murder. I mean, I was working at the Family Fitness Center on 9911 West Pico. So Love's was on the other side of the street, probably 9,000. I'll guess that Love's address was 9,000 Pico. Gavin Newsom, horrible governor, and he's going to be an even worse president. And doom clip that, because I'm telling you right now, Gavin Newsom will be the next president. I had burritos for lunch. Good for you and bad for your toilet. My buddy played Little Leagues with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming their Little League was at Roxbury Park. Harris has no chance. She blew it. She's one and done. She's like an 80s metal band that had one hit. Opinion on Trump presidency. I mean, he's proactive. I'll give him that. I mean, I watched the State of the Union last night. I mean, it was a campaign speech. I don't. Wow, I haven't had KFC since I was a little kid. Northridge Little League. Okay. MLC just went live. MLC is live. So I'll do another. Let's say let's go another 10 minutes, and then you guys can go right into MLC because I do have some stuff to do. What are you talking about, Night Moose? What's the WWE storyline? Well, I like to give you guys viewing options. I know that my stream is not for everybody. Well, I mean, you must care about MLC if your name is Kevin Brennan Business. Oh, yes, I'm telling you right now. I bowled recently. My average score is about 100. But the last time I bowled, I almost had 200. It was like 186 or something, which is good for me. MLC is probably the leader in the Dabbleverse podcast world. That's about the only way I can. President Skakel. I would have too many. I mean, I don't have that many skeletons, but I know what ex-girlfriends they would reach out to. And by the way, I had flashbacks last night when they did a tribute in the upper deck of the speech, when they give shout outs, and the one guy was from Decatur, Alabama. If you know, you know. Ever go to Hollywood Star Lanes on Santa Monica? Is that Santa Monica and by the beach? I think I went there once. I mean, my main bowling alley. Didn't really have a main bowling alley. I just went to one that's kind of in a rough part of town on Western, I think. Western in Santa Monica. Oh, I just went there then. Do you like sketch comedy? I was kicked out of the Groundlings, so to be honest with you, no. I'm much better off in the stand-up world. And I was pretty good at the Groundlings. Like I knew how to yes and right away, but I probably needed a little work on my space work. Like when you pick up a phone, say my landline, you talk like this. So in the Groundlings, if you're in a sketch where you're talking on the phone, you kind of mimic holding this just by going like that. I would literally go like that. So my favorite city to do comedy in. I would love to go to Hawaii, even though I suffered horrific. Um, the bowling alley, that's cool. I mean, it's kind of in the hood, so I don't know if I necessarily like that part of it. I mean, I've never been to a bowling alley where you have to walk through a metal detector, but I would love to go to Hawaii, but ever since my skin cancer, I'm not really the biggest fan of being in the sun. So, but I had like, not that there's a good skin cancer, but I had the less dangerous skin cancer. So, but I really try and avoid the sun. So I don't know if going to Hawaii, even though my brother lives on Kauai, would be great. But in terms of what my favorite city to do comedy in, probably Edmonton, Alberta, because there's nothing to do up there but go to the comedy club and watch the Oilers. So the crowd really fucking loves when they see, hey, this guy's from LA, they automatically like you. They're like, hey, we know it's kind of a schlub to get up to Edmonton. Respect. And I do a lot of hockey jokes when I'm in Canada just because, I pander to the crowd, if you will. And, well, that's the whole thing about improv comedy is that they want you to fake it. So if you're, like, I remember the first exercise they ever had us do. It's weird how my memory is so fucking, I got that Mary Lou Henner shit kicking in right now. They had us all lie on the ground, 12 of us. So we formed a circle. And they said, act like a piece of bacon. So it kind of forces you to go like, what the fuck does bacon act like? So I liked that aspect of it. 100% white dreams, 100%. I am a night owl because my mom didn't go to bed till about 7 a.m. And I stayed up with her a lot as a kid. So I was just ingrained that's why I like the dark so much. Like if you look at my condo right now, it's very dark in here. Like, the TV's on and then, there's the berry jelly fucking thing. But, it's pretty dark. So, I have always enjoyed the night hours. And, when I used to start going to nightclubs in the late 80s, early 90s, I was out all night. So, I was just, I'd get home. I mean, it's crazy the endurance I have. What up, G? I can form images. Like, if you said to me, I don't know why this is kind of, think of any ex-girlfriend right now, and I close my eyes. It's like they're in my brain right now. I'm a very visual person. Like I think in pictures and moving images. So if you said, can you recall your roast battle with Sarah Tiana? I would close my eyes, and it's like I can see Sarah here, and I'm there, and there's Brian Moses. Like there's like little miniature. It's like here I am in my brain. This is what I am. So it's good and bad, to be honest with you. Do I know the Beatles? I mean, not personally. Well, I mean, it's dark. You can't see the dust. That's part of another reason why it's so dark. So it is rough for me. Like I got into a habit of taking yoga at 9 in the morning, and I fucking loved it because it is nice to get it out of the way. That way, it doesn't hang over your head all day. You're not talking yourself out of not doing it later. But it was very tough. My energy chakra is much more geared toward the nighttime hours. Um, but my club going days, I used to work at a gym, and I was like the morning person, the morning shift, and you had to get at this gym I think the gym opened at 6, and you had to get there at like 5:45 or 5:30, turn all the lights on and make sure. One time I caught a guy sleeping in the jacuzzi. He made a big doo-doo. I'll never forget. His name was Milo. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Um, so I was, funny enough, in the late 80s and early 90s, trained to get up very early. But I was also staying out incredibly late. Like, my typical Friday night is, Friday nights I had the night shift. So I think that was like from 4 to 11. And then I'd go out with my friends to nightclubs, chasing girls, whatever. We'd be out till 4 or 5 in the morning. I'd literally sleep for 30, 40 minutes. I'd get up. I was never late, never missed opening the gym up on time. And then I'd stay up. I think my shift was like from 6 in the morning till 1. I'd go home, I'd sleep for a few hours, or I'd go to my ball hockey league in Orange County and then repeat. Now, I can't do that anymore because my endurance is just. Do you have to break out the skimmer? I don't know what that is, Zoom. So, what up, minutes? So, now I'm much more geared because of comedy. To be a nighttime person. But now I've noticed, and maybe this is my body getting older or whatever I don't just tell jokes. You got to show me the money, honey. I'm not an animal in a cage. Um, so sorry, I came in hot there, slow paced. I'm sorry. Hit the like and subscribe button, will you? Um, so like now my energy chakra, or whatever you want to call it, is geared so towards the night. But the problem is when I do stand up, like, this Saturday night, I was at the Comedy Store. I think I went on about 12:30. Didn't do that long this Saturday. I think I did about a half hour, and it was a really good set. But your adrenaline really kicks in when you're on stage and you're doing well. But then about an hour later, it totally leaves your body, and you're just gassed. So I definitely go to sleep, and I still go to sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning. Um, no, my jokes are getting edgier because I'm more confident. Oh, it was so nasty. Oh yeah, okay, I get you, William. Yeah, I mean, this guy was a big dude too. He fell asleep in the jacuzzi, stayed there all night. How he didn't drive, Moses, you missed nothing, man. We're just talking a little NHL trade deadline, my sleep patterns, and we're gonna do another 5 minutes because then I have one of the best guys and comics in the business. Well, I'm trying, man. I'm in the wrong business to be one of the best guys. That means that actually hurts you. So, but I'm trying. I'm a comedy soldier, and you guys are small. But yes, we're also talking to some of the great horses. Me and TB are kindred spirits of horse racing in the late 70s and early 80s. We started the stream off talking about Crystal Water, John Henry, the Great White Tornado Vigors, who was a jet white horse whose whole shtick was coming from behind. It's like he started bad on purpose. And I always, yes, that is Sting in the back, baby. That is the Earl sign in the back. What else is back here? Got my signed Joey Janela wrestling doll, the bad boy Joey Janela. There's a picture of me and Annie Bear. Look at how fucking pretty that dog was, man. Kings have a big game. I am Earl, yes. Tonight against the St. Louis Blues. Blues are desperate. Kings are desperate. Should be a playoff-like atmosphere. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, they probably should have traded Crosby and Malkin. I mean, the problem with Pittsburgh is, as long as Crosby, Malkin, and Letang are on the team, they're never going to do a rebuild. And when Crosby, Malkin, and Letang retire, which is coming sooner than later, that team is going to be Detroit Red Wings early '80s bad. If you remember that. I don't really watch the NBA. I did not know that, but there was always Hollywood industry there when I was there. Producers, directors, actors. My dad knew them all, but I was downstairs with with the golf caddies and the fucking degenerates. I mean, I'm talking guys with holes in their shoes giving you hot tips. Yes, check out the Inappropriate Earl podcast. I don't do it as much as I used to, frankly, because I make more money uh, doing this stream than I ever have at the Inappropriate Earl podcast. So, um, I've kind of lost not necessarily my desire, but it's like, what's the point of I do everything on my own, so it's hard to get people to commit. Like it took me probably a month to get Chris Nyland. He's busy. He's got his own podcast, and he's a in-demand hockey analyst. So, but I'm doing all this work and not seeing a dollar's worth of reward. So I would frankly rather do this stream, make a couple $100 a month. It's not the most amount, but like it's enough to like pay a few bills or whatever. What do you think about UFC? I used to watch it a lot more than I do now. So I don't really watch it anymore. I like the heavyweights. I couldn't name you one UFC heavyweight right now. And I'm talking back in the day, I could name at least 20. Back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean Paul the Headhunter Buonatello, Mirko Krokop, Gabriel Gonzaga, Alistair Overeem, Frank Mir, Travis Brown, Brendan Schaub. You might not like his comedy, but at one point he was an up and coming heavyweight. Um, Mark Hunt, just Ben Rothwell, Fedor, Bob Sapp, Kevin Randleman. Or was he a 205er? I think Kevin Randleman might have been a 205er. Of course, the only heavyweight I can name is John Jones. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I loved the racetrack. It was just full of so many fucking characters. And, well, I mean, but, you look at, like, if, and, this, I'm trying to be realistic. I'm not trying to treat it like fantasy hockey. Yeah, Boss Rutan, the king of pancrase. Yeah, Tank Abbott, Don Fry, all these guys, Brett Rogers. Um, but I don't know. I just, I mean, I remember when I first became exposed to the UFC, I would buy the VHS tapes at Best Buy, like 6 months after the fight was over. But it was just we'd all run home, and this is when there was no rules. You had like who was the guy who beat up Emmanuel Yarbrough? Fuck, I forget his name, but he was like a guy probably about my size, maybe 6 feet, 6'1", maybe 200 pounds, and he beat an 800 pound sumo fighter, like beat the shit out of him. Yeah, Shamrock against Gracie, Chemo. I just preferred the blood sport days of the UFC. No weight limits. You had to fight 3 times in one night. I mean, it was a complete freak show. Like Don Fry fighting a taxi cab driver they found outside the arena, Thomas Hernandez. They're like, "Hey, do you want to make $500 right now fighting this guy?" Like what? Um, well, thank you, Waiver. Yeah, I mean, I think there was a judge, but Big John McCarthy, just insanity. It was like one guy, Joe Son, he kicked his tooth out. That Gerard, not Depardieu, Gerard Garreau or something like that. He was like kicking guys in the head, soccer kicks in the head. Um, yeah, I just watched a documentary on Pride fighting. I mean, foot stomps, just well, chill guy. If you don't like my vocabulary, you can always leave the stream. This is how I talk. If you don't like it, I appreciate that, but I don't really care. If you don't think I can do a stream to 27 people instead of 28, I'm a fucking pro, brother. So, am I racist? No. I was actually raised by a black guy when my dad was on business. So, try again. Um, UFC is on almost every week, and you have to. Yeah, I don't know. I just liked it better back in the day. So, well, I'm Jewish, so I'd be a pretty bad Nazi, to be honest with you. We'll do 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes. And then I'm going to walk Lois because it's not raining right now. Can you do Don LaFontaine? I don't know who that is, but I can do EA Sports. It's in the game. I was raised by a black man as well. Well, my dad was away on business a lot. So we had I guess you'd say not a butler, but a caretaker named Leroy who, yes, Keith Hackney was the one who beat Emmanuel Yarbrough and Joe Sans balls. I mean, like, it was just the Wild West. It's just like hammering it with ball shots. Now, I understand, it's kind of like hockey fights back in the day where you can't fucking have that kind of stuff anymore, but no, not Leroy Jenkins, Leroy Prince. But yeah, I don't know. It's what I remember as a kid. I grew up on that wildness. The DC. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of disappeared. That DC plane crash. So interesting. Yeah, that did kind of like go away real fast. So hey, speaking of going away, hit the like and subscribe button before you go away. And now that makes me want to do that even more. I say when I'm thinking of something. It's just a verbal tick. So sorry if you guys don't like that. It's just who I am as a person. We don't talk about my mom like that in here, chill guy. Come on now, have some class. I've done an hour stream almost for free. Now you're gonna talk about some black guy fucking my mom. Like, Jesus. And you guys wonder why people don't stream a lot. Leroy and my mom had a platonic relationship. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Philly plane crash, and then those, plane crashes. I don't think are real popular ratings grabbers. No one. We all fly. I'm in certainly a profession where you have to fly a lot. I don't really want to hear about people plunging to their death. Well, I mean, it's not just that. See, Moses gets it. So, yeah, I mean, come on, to talk about my mom like that. But that's the nature of the internet. That's the great thing about a troll. They can try and make me mad, and what's my recourse? When the NTSB report comes out, it will be back in the news. Yeah, I mean, it's like, look at the. I'm still blown away that we never found MH370. I think that got a lot more play because it was just such a fascinating story. Like a 777 plane just disappears. Now, the Indian Ocean is a gigantic piece of ocean, so I'm not really blown away that they never found it. But it is kind of weird that we've never, it just disappeared. It's the news cycle. I banned a TV. We're a Christian stream. I can't even show that. Come on, man. Well, I mean, I used to have a terrible fear of flying, to be honest with you. But, then I kind of got over it where I really enjoyed flying. So, well, I mean, I believe, the pilot just, was a suicide by pilot. And, it's, the story of it's not that hard to fathom, but it's just, it's crazy to me that you got to figure the plane probably just glided into the ocean and sank. So out there somewhere is a 777 that's relatively intact. I mean, I don't think it flew down like that. I think it just kind of just hit the ocean and sank. Um, what's going on? I'm just about to end the stream. Uh-oh, we got a 9/11 conspiracy guy in here. Banda, I tell you what, I might stream later on tonight. Let's pick up this discussion on tonight's stream. I believe a plane hit the Pentagon, but I'm open to sales pitch me. I love talking conspiracy stuff. Um, so no, I'm serious. Come back on tonight. Um, yeah, but the Payne Stewart situation makes sense to me. Like it would have been crazy if they would have had to shoot the plane down. Imagine being that pilot, given the order to I mean, they were already dead, but like still, you're gonna be known forever as the guy who shot down Payne Stewart. I might. Well, the King game is on. It's a big King game tonight, so if I did stream, it would probably be no earlier than 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So George Floyd, we can talk George Floyd. I mean, his mural is still up at the Laugh Factory. I thought he got passed at the Laugh Factory. I mean, it was crazy. Hello, a little joke there. Well, I thought it was Building 7. Midnight. I don't know. I mean, because in theory, you'd think midnight streams would not do well because people on the West Coast are getting ready for bed. People on the East Coast are sleeping. You might sales pitch me, AC/DC, who I believe is in Illinois. He might be up, but I mean, I loved watching 9/11 conspiracy. What was that one? Loose Change. I mean, that guy. Rocket Man timed out for what was it, spam? That guy, that documentary, kind of like, okay, I'm open to some of these things being a little out of the ordinary. But then when he said he had proof that 9 out of the 19 hijackers are still alive, that's when he kind of lost me. All right, TB, always a pleasure talking horse racing and whatnot. Abdul, what up? Hit the like and subscribe button, Abdul. You must be new to the Earl world. What do you think about the Tony fumble chance during Ricky Stark's segment last week on? Oh, I didn't hear that. I mean, thank you. No problem. I mean, I can't send you food. I'm certainly not going to send you money. We've already sent you guys enough money. Trillions of dollars. Um, the 9/11 planes are supposed to go into the Kremlin. Boy, were they off target. I mean, I think Tony Stark's was buried permanently by Edge in that one promo where they were kind of going at it back and forth. And I think he called Ricky Starks, if I'm remembering correctly, a vanilla midget or a vanilla rock. And you could tell that really hit Starks hard. Like he was like, fuck. He didn't really have a comeback. Cena going heel, it's pretty good. I mean, obviously a week later, we're talking about it. We'll do 5 more minutes, guys. We'll absolutely do. We'll do 1 hour, 5 minutes on the nose, and then I got to get going. But so I think ever since that promo, and obviously there was a beef between Adam Copeland and Starks. You could feel it. Because that kind of turned into a shoot promo live. So I don't know what the beef was between those guys or is, but you knew if push comes to shove, Tony Khan is going to pick Cope over Ricky Starks. I like Ricky Starks, but I mean, and now with Rampage gone, I mean, AEW really doesn't have a lot of TV time. I love AEW, as you guys know. But, now with just 2 TV shows to showcase the talent and with AEW favoring semi-long matches, I am not. I'll be at the Comedy Store Saturday night. Yes, we can talk WWE, AEW, but no Ray DeVito. Super chats only for Ray DeVito. So I got to draw a line somewhere. I mean, I've done a 56-minute stream for $0. So the one way I think, if you guys want to talk about Ray DeVito, you know what you have to do. You got to show me the money, honey. Um, so I got to draw a line somewhere. 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes to get your Ray DeVito questions in via the super chat system. I also am on PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, and you can give $5 to the guy on my street corner. Hello. So it'll be interesting to see where, especially with The Rock on the big roster. I do think Ricky Starks is kind of like a smaller version of The Rock on the mic and body wise. He's a lot smaller than The Rock, but The Rock wasn't like the most gigantic guy always. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, I guess you could go The Rock against Ricky Starks at some point, but they got to kind of build Ricky Starks up to the WWE fan base first, I would think. Waiver $2. Please say Ray DeVito isn't that funny. Hello. I mean, Waiver, you get an exemption because you are a frequent super chatter. Normally I would say that's a $10 and up super chat, but because you are a Earlverse legend, for $2, Ray DeVito isn't that funny. Hello. You only get the pew pew on a $10 super chat and up. See, now I'm grifting for money. I got the steel toe fucking method down. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Waver, very much. I wish you all were like Waver. All right, we got 58 minutes and 30 seconds. We got a minute and a half left. Is Doom in the house? Clip it, Doom. So, wow, Earl is more over than Ricky Starks. I might be more. I would be so good in AEW as a heel manager. Oh, would I be good? You got to think of a guy who's not good on the mic. Well, you've got MVP, you've got Prince Nana, and no, you better not send that one to Doom. Or at least make sure he knows it's a super chat request, and I don't want to get involved in that world, man. I'm trying to think. All right, we got 30 more seconds, guys. Make me famous at Doom. Doom and I are cool. Doom gave me the greatest compliment ever. He's like, Earl, I don't clip you because you don't talk about anything that's interesting. Boing! Earl, that bozo AJ and his bullshit cookies. Yeah, I don't really get the Rizzler and AJ, but I do. I would love, they don't really need it because they are pretty funny, but I would love to manage the MXM collection. Just the tips. I'll admit this, a little bit of a troll question, but if Rob Halbert and Elford John hooked up, who's bottoming? Jesus, Dylan, that really is a super chat question, to be honest with you. All homosexual questions are $5, but I will, since you kind of slid that in. A little bit of a troll. I would guess. I don't know. Halford seems a bit aggressive, so I'll go. He'll be the top. If Leslie Jones super chatted you $50,000, because she's 100%, she could sleep in my bed for $50,000. Do you know Mario? I don't. I know the name from seeing him on MLC once, but yeah. But Rico Costantino, he's not full time. I would love to play like an over-the-top gay manager for the MXM collection. Really gay it up. All right, guys, I've got to go walk Lois before yoga. This was a fun stream. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I hit the goal of $2, so I'm out of here.